We're actually in the middle of a war right now. It's a quiet one, but it's happening every single day. And it's a war for trust. The two sides? Well, it's you and the brands you buy from. This isn't about price anymore. It's not even just about quality. It's about proof. This is the story of the transparency wars. And the new battlefield? It's a brand-owned supply chain. For so long, for decades, brands just told us their story, and we kinda had to take their word for it, right? But that control, it's gone. Completely. Now, if a brand isn't being upfront about how it operates, there's literally an army of consumers out there, armed with smartphones, just ready to expose the truth for them.
So to really get what's going on, we have to rewind the clock. Let's go back to a time that honestly feels super distant now. A time when just hearing the words, "trust us," was pretty much the most powerful marketing tool a company had. They'd print these promises on their labels, and you know what? For the most part, that was all it took.
And wow, the shift is just stark. I mean, look at this. We've gone from these kind of vague, feel-good promises like eco-friendly or 100% natural to a totally new reality. Consumers just aren't satisfied with the stories anymore. They want evidence. They're asking, show me the data, prove it, and maybe most importantly, who actually made this?
Okay, so this huge shift didn't just happen overnight. Not at all. It was more like a rebellion, really. And it was born from years and years of frustration. Shoppers just got tired of being misled, and they finally hit a collective breaking point.
And here's exactly why. We've all seen these headlines, haven't we? This so-called natural brand that gets caught dumping chemical waste, the fancy luxury label with a really ugly secret about its labor conditions, that food company talking all about responsible farming while its suppliers are literally destroying forests. People feel cheated, and that frustration is now morphed into this powerful, non-negotiable expectation for the truth. And then came the real game changer, social media. You could call it the TikTok effect. All of a sudden, every single one of us was armed with the tools of an investigative journalist. The whole power dynamic just flipped, almost instantly.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A single 20-second video can completely unravel a brand's reputation, a reputation that took decades to build. Hidden ingredients, shady suppliers, those misleading green claims, all of it can go from being a local problem to global news in a matter of hours. And this is the crucial point. Transparency isn't a marketing choice anymore. In this new war, it is a flat-out survival strategy.
So all of this has led to what might be the most critical shift in modern business. A brand's identity? It's not its logo anymore. It's not its advertising. The brand is its supply chain. And that supply chain is the new battlefield where its reputation is either won or lost.
Yeah, the new signals of trust look completely different. It's not about storytelling anymore. It's all about sharing evidence. That vague, green language is being replaced by data points you can actually verify. The feel-good marketing stories are giving way to things like digital product passports, where you can scan a code and see an item's entire journey, from the farm right to the shelf. And those flimsy in-house certifications, forget about them. They're being replaced by tough, third-party audits.
So why are regular shoppers turning into supply chain detectives? Well, there are really three major forces driving this. First, you've got climate reality. People are living through extreme weather, they see it with their own eyes, and they know their choices matter. Second is digital visibility. We can now track everything, from deforestation with satellites to labor violations posted on social media. And third, it's about moral alignment. People want to spend their hard-earned money with companies that actually reflect their own values. Okay, so if this is the new battlefield, how does a brand actually win? Well, the answer is in a totally new kind of honesty. The brands that are winning aren't the ones pretending to be perfect. Nope. They're the ones that are radically and kind of refreshingly honest.
And here are the new rules of engagement, basically. Step 1. Radical openness. This means you don't just share your wins. You talk about your challenges and your supplier risks. Step 2. Full visibility. Show the entire chain from the raw material to the finished product, not just the parts you're proud of. And Step 3. Continuous accountability. This isn't about some glossy report you put out once a year. It's about providing live, verified data that your customers can access and actually trust, anytime.
And the truth is, brands aren't going to have a choice for much longer. Technology is making it pretty much impossible to hide. You've got tools like blockchain creating unchangeable digital records of every single transaction. Digital passports are tracking every step a product takes, and AI can sniff out labor or environmental risks in real time. This tech is creating a world where full visibility is just unavoidable.
This all leads to a final reckoning. a moment where every single brand has to make a choice. As transparency just becomes the baseline expectation, companies are going to fall into one of two camps. You're either going to be a leader or you're going to be a pretender.
And every brand is going to have to choose one of these two paths. On one side, you have the leaders. These are the ones investing in traceable supply chains and publishing what they find, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then on the other side, you've got the pretenders. They're the ones hiding behind those glossy reports, using vague certifications, and just doing everything they can to dodge real accountability. The transparency wars are going to expose the pretenders and elevate the leaders. It's that simple.
And if there's one single lesson to take away from this whole new era, it's this: authenticity beats perfection, every time. Consumers don't expect perfection. They're smart enough to know that any large supply chain is going to have a challenge. What they do reward is authenticity. A brand that admits its flaws and shows you a clear plan to fix them is so much more trustworthy than one that's falsely claiming to be flawless.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just about data points and QR codes, Behind every single product, there's a chain of human beings, farmers, workers, artisans. Transparency is about making them visible. It's about acknowledging their work and their dignity. So when a brand shows its full supply chain, what it's really saying is, we see the people who made this, and we want you to see them too.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. This whole power shift from corporations to us, the consumers, it puts the responsibility on all of us, really. So the next time you're standing in a store or you're browsing online, what are you going to look for? And more importantly, what are you going to demand? A simple promise or cold, hard proof?